What's up, y'all? In today's discussion, we're going to talk about free will when you're trying to manifest your reality. I get this question a lot. If I'm trying to bring this person to my life, I'm trying to get this person to change, I'm trying to get a different version of this person or of this thing, what about their free will? What if they're manifesting someone else? What if they're with someone else? So we're going to talk about all those things today. So the title of today's discussion is Nobody Has Free Will in Your World. All right, let me make sure that I'm live and then we'll get started. All right, cool. So let's talk about this. So tuning the self. You don't change reality. You align with the one that matches who you are. One thing we have to understand about reality is that you're never really changing anything. Okay? Reality is done. Reality is God, and God is everything, and God is non-changing. Every single possible combination of what you can experience has already been created. But you are the power that through your faith, you change the channel that you are on. And this allows you to slip into a quote unquote different reality. So you're not changing anything. You're choosing the character that you want to play. And by choosing that character, everyone and everything begins to relate to you differently. So before we get into this, all right, we're going to have one quote, a Neville Goddard quote. You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe is the only reason that you do not see it. All right? And so let's go into this beautiful PowerPoint right here, okay? And of course, if y'all want to see the document, it's going to be on YouTube. All right. Yeah. All right. So this is what we're gonna do to speak about. Let me get this out the way. All right. So this is what we're gonna use to talk about free will. We're gonna talk about reality creation in this document. So you either utilize your own free will or you join in the free will of someone else. What does that mean? If you know what the all-seeing eye is, we can think of the all-seeing eye as a representation of consciousness. When you have this quote-unquote all-seeing eye, it is the eye that is always watching you. It is basically the eye of God. It's the eye of reality. And because God is omnipresent, God is omnipotent, that means that the Most High is everything, everywhere, everyone. So if that is the case, that means that everyone is the eye of the divine looking at you. So what you are is you are one perspective of God. You're one perspective of infinite consciousness. And your job here, your purpose here is to learn yourself. It's to understand who you are. And you do that by experiencing your power, by walking through life and realizing that I am that I am. The that in the middle is whatever you choose to be. If you decide to be prosperous, if you embody that character, then you tune into that timeline. If you embody the character of a victim, you tune into that timeline. All right, so let's talk about this. Who you are being right now changes how you relate to the past and how you relate to the future. So think about this present moment as a cylinder, as a vortex, right? So it's represented right here by this present moment, this little cylinder. So this man right now is in the mindset of prosperity. Everything is working out for him. He believes that, he embodies it, he walks through life. It doesn't matter if the bills are piling up. In his mind, he says, everything is working out for me, right? He's taking a stand for himself. He is going to war with reality for himself, the same way that we have to go to war with reality. We have to have that spiritual backbone. And the moment that we declare, I am prosperity, we have to walk through life and we have to be that. And so situations show up and you say, no, I am prosperity. And then those situations, if they are negative, if they're not in alignment with prosperity, they have to fade away. And so they're replaced with prosperity. All right. So as we see, you reflect, or everyone, everything, every circumstance now begins to reflect your beliefs and your expectations back to you. This is the all-seeing eye. You ever had a trip? You've ever hit that, that frog, that D-M, let me pause before I say the third letter, T, you might have the eye vision. And what this represents is every single thing, every single person is looking at you saying, what are you going to be? What belief are you going to have? What is your expectation going to be? How are you going to react to these situations? You can think of every situation as a vibration. And if a situation that you perceive as negative shows up and you respond in a negative way, guess what? Y'all match. Y'all are now stuck together. And so now you get more of that. Because the universe is not mean, it's not cruel, it's not testing you, it's just the perfect reflection. And so the moment that these things show up that are negative, you say, oh, nah, around prosperity. I am prosperous. No matter what it looks like, it is all unfolding perfectly for my prosperity. You take a stand for yourself against reality, which is just a reflection of you. Now this situation has no choice but to disappear. So because you perceive it as negative, but you respond with indifference, no. This is not my purpose. This is just one of infinite possibilities. I am going to stay divine. I remember that I am God. I'm going to be still and know that I am God. And I know that prosperity is all that is in alignment with me. This situation must now fade away because you are not matching it anymore. This is how reality works. And so this is what you embody in this present moment. So the moment that you embody somebody, a prosperous person, a person who your love life is always working out for you, every single person turns to you and says, yes, we agree. And some things still trickle in, right? Because in these past moments, those kind of timelines were created, right? In these past moments, you've had timelines that were created where you actually have to confront certain things from those timelines. And those are just opportunities for you to show who you are. So who are you going to be? Are you going to go back to that old version of you? Or are you going to stand in your new being? Right? This is why even spiritual teachers like Neville Goddard, they say, okay, once you master your self-talk, you can put aside any process. You don't need to affirm anymore once you master your self-talk. You don't need to visualize shit once you master your self-talk. This is the key. If I master what I am saying, the story that I am saying about whatever situation, this is really what it is that your beliefs and expectations are the story that you're telling about yourself. All right? Whatever shows up in your life, what is the story that you're telling? Do you become a victim of that thing? Do you say, damn, it's just not working out? Or do you say, nah, no matter what it looks like, it's unfolding perfectly for me, and I am prosperity now. My love life is working for me now. Everything works out for me right now. Who are you being? Okay? You have to understand that reality is going to conform to you. Reality will conform to you. It is your job, your only job is to change who you are being and then take a stand against your reflection. If it does not show up ideally the way that you want, you deny it. Okay, this is just one of infinite possibilities. I don't need to react negatively. It's obviously the perfect unfolding, but I don't prefer this. Everything is working out for me. And then you continue to move forward. And then that situation might show up again. No, everything is working out for me. And that situation might show up again. Everything is working out for me. But if you do not resonate with it, guess what? It has to drop away. This is your choice. Are you going to be the same person that you were before and get the same types of things? Or are you going to change into a more divine version of you? Okay? So the moment that you embody in this present moment, who you are being, the path to get there is automatically made manifest. It automatically shows up and you begin to walk down this path, moment by moment. The moment that you slip back into another version of yourself, guess what? That version of yourself has a reality that is created. And you walk down the path of the unfolding to get there. It is always about who you are being. All right? There's no power. By themselves, there's no power in the techniques. You can sit and visualize what you want for an hour, 3 hours, 10 hours. But the moment that you get up and you confront life and something that doesn't look like it's right happens, who are you being? Are you going to deny that thing? Are you going to stay in the embodiment of who you are being, of who you are? Are you going to remember yourself correctly? Or are you going to go back to remembering who you aren't anymore? All right? So now that I'm in this present moment and I've resonated with who I'm going to be, all of a sudden, all these things have to fade away out of my reality. All right? So next, every single thing that you do, every single person, every single story that you tell about yourself, it begins to show up in your life outside of you, all right? So we have 4 stories right here. Number 1 is the prosperous timeline, all right? I step into this version of me and I say everything. I'm prosperous, man. The world always, it doesn't matter what it looks like, my prosperity grows every day. My wealth increases every day. Guess what? Everything and everyone immediately change to prove that you are prosperous. Everything immediately changes, and you're walking down this path to get to your prosperity. But guess what? Certain things still show up. It's still leading you to prosperity, but because you are a human being and you have the eyes of a human being, we have a holier than thou mindset where we believe our sense of morality is great. We believe that we can determine what is right and wrong. And so what do? We step into our God mode and we begin to judge things. And say, oh, no, this isn't working out. This isn't working out perfectly, but it is. You want to know why it's working out perfectly? Because it has to be, because you have declared that you are prosperity now. The only thing that can change that is if a situation shows up that you don't like and you begin to declare that it's something else. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. So that situation shows up that's not in alignment. It doesn't look like what you want. And you say, oh, it's just not working out. Maybe this isn't working. I've been doing all the techniques, but reality just isn't changing. Guess what? You have declared right then that it's not changing. You are the synchronicity. You are the glitch. You are the God in this reality. You are the sun and everything revolves around you. And you have to walk through life with the conviction that everything is changing because your boy changed. Everything has to relate to me differently because I'm different. Everything has to be leading me to prosperity. Guess what? Because I am prosperity. I take nothing less. So it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you look like. It is leading me to prosperity. It is the perfect unfolding. I don't care what the situation looks like. The God within me is perfect, so the situation must be unfolding perfectly, all right? Now, you have this broke as fuck timeline. You walking through and you saying, nothing is working out for me. Guess what? Everything and everyone immediately changes to prove. I said you're prosperous, but it should be everything changes to prove that you are not, that you are broke, all right? You have a timeline where you have determined everything always works out. So it doesn't even matter. If you get fired tomorrow, you look it in the face and you say, everything is working out for me. Don't know what this is supposed to do. It doesn't look right, but guess what? Everything is working out for me. Therefore, because I have decided this and I declare it, this must be because I am the law. Because God is everything. God is every possibility, every reality. God is the prosperous version of you, the broke version of you. All of these things already exist. But the that in between the I am, that is the disguise. That is the character that you get to play. You get to walk through life embodying that character, and the world then shows you what you want. You are the video game player. You are player one. Okay? Now, what happens when we are unconscious? Okay, because we started this talking about free will. So let's talk about free will. All right. If you become the version of you, if you embody the version, you say, women can't get enough of me. Guess what happens? All people, all women reflect that at you. You say, all these men just want to marry me. They can't get enough of me. All these men, they change to reflect that to you. But what about their free will? What about their free will? We have to understand that in this reality, in your reality right now, same way in my reality, I am the single point of consciousness. You are the single point of consciousness. So if I choose, these women can't get enough of me, okay, and I walk through life like that, guess what versions of women I'm going to get? I am going to get the version of them that has made the choice with their own free will, that they can't get enough of me. Now, there are other versions of them in their own realities because everything exists. Everything exists. We can't say that and only think everything exists for us. Everything exists for everyone. There are multiple versions of me out there that other people are experiencing based on their story that they're telling about me and about them. Just like there's multiple versions of people that I'm experiencing now based on the story that I'm telling. Have you ever went to sleep with someone, whether it was a spouse, a significant other, and it's like you woke up the next day and they were a completely different person? You're like, God damn, you just changed overnight, right? All of a sudden their attitude changes. We call it hot and cold behavior. Why is that? Is it because you believe they're going to be hot and cold? Is it because all of a sudden you had a feeling? It was your quote unquote intuition. No, it was a belief that you had that was crystallized in reality. It was a belief that you had that that person has to reflect at you. Huh? So it is not that other people don't have free will. They do. Everyone has their own free will. But in your reality, you pull in the version of those people who are aligned to you, who are aligned to your beliefs. So when you change your belief, you change your reality. Everything is already created. So you change your reality. You slip into a different reality where everybody closely aligns to that belief. This is the all-seeing eye. Okay? Everybody is watching you. Every circumstance is watching you and saying, who are you going to be today? You're going to be the same person that you were yesterday, so we're going to give you the same things, or are you going to completely change? This is what quantum leaping is, quantum jumping. This is reality creation at its finest. Okay? Everyone has free will, but in your reality, you are the operant power. You get to choose which versions of people, right? Which version of them shows up for you. And of course, it's still based on their free will, right? But everything in your reality revolves around you. You are the sun. Everyone else is just not even a planet. There's just a particle of dust revolving around you. Doesn't matter where you fly in the universe, they will reflect perfectly back at you. Okay? So free will, you're never impeding. You're never imposing. Whatever. You are never barging in, disregarding someone else's free will. Okay? So the two other timelines, right? The timeline where everything works out for you. Everyone will reflect that. And the timeline where you say, my love life is perfect. My love life is perfect. Guess what? Everything and everyone immediately change to prove that your love life is perfect. But they change instantly like that, right? So you can walk through life and you can forget. You can walk unconsciously. And guess what happens? When you walk through life unconsciously, since everybody else has free will as well, you start getting pulled into other people's realities. You start getting pulled into these realities where they think, right, that you just can't get enough of them. And now you're stuck there until you change your mind that this person can't get enough of me. And now you flip realities as well. We can all have what we want. This is why when people are like, oh, well, what if they're with somebody out? Well, from a physical, worldly perspective, the answer is don't impede. But from a conscious perspective, from an understanding of universal law, you would never be impeding anyway. You don't walk up and break that up. You allow things to unfold naturally, knowing that they always will. And so if you hold on to the version of you where that person is in alignment with you, that person loves you, that person wants you, that person can't get enough of you, they love your dirty draws, right? Something will happen and they will come to you. This is why with all of my male clients, I do this same exercise. Before you walk into the club, you shall decree, you shall make a divine statement that a woman in this area will come and buy you a drink. If you really want to get bold, she will buy you and your homeboy a drink. Why do I do this? Because this is not something that normally happens. If I did it with women, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all get drinks bought for you. But when I do this for men, it turns on a light bulb. Right? Because what you'll realize is when they come and they give you their drink, what's going to happen is they're going to have the perfect excuse. It's going to make sense. They're going to tell you that they're celebrating something and they just wanted to buy drinks for something. Or they're going to say, oh, we're at a bachelorette party and one of the things that we had to do on our bachelorette list was buy the first man that we see a drink. And so it's going to sound perfectly normal. And you're going to say, oh my God, it was, could this be coincidence? It wasn't. It's because you decreed it. But sometimes we have to do things that are out of the ordinary so it can show us that, oh, we think that we're imposing on other people's free will, but you're not at all. They will have a great excuse for it. All of a sudden, she could be with somebody. And you say, no, she's in love with me. She can't be with anybody else. She can't even see herself with anybody else. And all of a sudden she comes back. And she's like, oh no, that was nothing. That was nothing. And then there's some kind of perfect excuse for it. And like, oh my goodness, this is for real. I am the creator. There is no free will besides mine. Okay? So let's get back to the lecture. But we had to talk about free will, because that's a question that I always get asked. It's a big question that clients have. It's like, okay, well, if you're saying that I can get this person, or I can get this thing or this job, what about the other people applying? What about the other people that are manifesting trying to get a job? They can have it too, in their reality. But you can have it here in yours. You're not imposing on anyone's free will. You couldn't do that, or else it wouldn't be free will. You just choose the person whose free will aligns with yours. That's it. And they stay in their reality. Those single points of consciousness are all in their own reality. Okay? So, the illusion of change, all right? Let's get into this. All right, you have been taught that manifestation is a tool to alter the world, to bend it to your will, to force the external to conform to your inner command. Okay? But this is a misunderstanding rooted in ego. You cannot change anything. Creation is done. Every situation is done. This is why it causes us so many issues when we look out into the world and we see something we don't like and we try to suppress it and we try to go through physical reality to change it, because your soul knows you're more divine than that. What if things were going your way, then you doubted it, and then things got off track? Can you get it back? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can get it back. These are the biblical stories, right? This is the story of Peter walking on water. Peter was walking on water and he saw the storms. And because of the storms, he started sinking. Jesus representing your I am awareness, knowing that everything that you want is in alignment with the God version of you. That's all it is Jesus is your I am awareness. Jesus said, don't look at the storm, look at me, and put his arm out. And the moment that Peter held arms with Jesus, he could float again. He could walk on water again. This is a representation of our life. Now, let me give you a gem, okay? Because the fact that you're saying, I doubted it and things got off track, okay? You are putting your power in that thing. You are basically declaring that things got off track. How do you know that they got off track? How do you know that it wasn't the perfect unfolding? Let's say that you're with a person and you're declaring that they're in your life, and they come back in your life for a little bit and then they just ghost you. And so now from our human perception, we're like, oh man, it's not working out anymore because I'm doubting it. But really, they were just going off somewhere because they got sick or they lost their phone or something happened. All right. But now, because we have declared things got off track because I doubted it, we are creating that story in this present moment. So all you need to do is declare, no matter what happens, that everything is working out. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Everything is always working out because it is. I want y'all to really think about this. The story that you're telling about the situation is what it is. You are the one that, because you declare something to be, because everything is you pushed out, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Right? When the Most High said, whatever you ask in the Father's name being I am, it means whatever I say that I am, God will give me. Because everybody is just a reflection of me. Whatever I say everybody else is, everything else is, I am declaring that thing to be. So we have to take that stand, that conscious divine stand, and say, I don't care what it looks like. Everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. All right? Yeah, something might not look ideal. It might look like it fell off. It might look that way, but it's not. It is what I declare it to be, and I declare it to be unfolding perfectly. So yes, you can always get back on track. Just remember who you are and declare it to be perfect. Don't sit in the awareness of, I doubted and it fell off track. Sit in the awareness of, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I can't fall off. I can't get off track because I am God. And it's always working out for me. Take a stand against your reality, man. No matter what reality shows you, you declare it over and over and over. It doesn't matter what it looks like. If you have to declare it 3, 4, 10, 20, 30 times, you make the stand and you keep going until it conforms, because it has to conform to you. This is universal law, as within, so without. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Whatever you ask in the Father's name will be given to you. Okay? So it's about working on that story. Deny that story of I fell off. I can't have it because I doubted it and things got off track. Deny that story. That's not the truth. The story is that it doesn't matter what it's looking like. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It is working out for you. And you are in the reality where it is working out. You have to have so much conviction in this, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Because it doesn't. We could never judge based on what things, quote unquote, look like, whether it's working or not. When we see tornadoes, when we see hurricanes, we think that there's an issue. We see people dying, but nobody says God is bad about that. When we see forest fires and the forest comes back more beautiful than ever, all of a sudden we have short memory. When we look at all the things in our life, the divine miracles, and we're like, well, it didn't look like it was working out, but it did. We have terrible judgment of what is right and wrong. And it's not our job. Our job is to walk with faith. Blessed is he who believes before he sees. Your job is not to determine if things are working out or not. Your job is to declare that it is. That is your only job. So if it was that story, what I would really work on with you is how do you confront everything that looks like what you want is not working out? How do you confront those things? Who are you being when you see those things? Are you the person that says, nah, doesn't matter what it looks like, it's always working out for me? Are you the person that holds that story? Or are you the person that, because a situation does not look ideal, you're like that leaf that's blown in the wind, right? You fall off the tree and then a gust of wind hits you and you're blown. All right. And then somebody walks by fast and then you're blown in another direction. Or are you the rock that stays still? Be still and know that I am God. Know that your declaration is God. Know that your I am awareness is God. So it doesn't matter if it's a person, money, whatever you want. You have to stand in that conscious divine awareness that you are all that is. Okay. So hopefully that helps. All right. It's never off track. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It is not off track. This is the stand that you have to take. You confront reality over and over and over again until it bends to you. There's two options, right? You go through life and reality happens and reality triggers you to change. It triggers you to start thinking, no, it's not working out. Or you take that stand against reality and you trigger reality to change. One of the two. Who are you being? The world has to conform. So don't judge anything, right? This is what all these spiritual teachers mean when they say circumstances don't matter. They don't. You don't know what is unfolding. Your only job is to say it is unfolding perfectly because I declare it to be. It is divine timing because I declare it to be. I don't care what it looks like. Instead of using your delusion for negative, because when people say be realistic, they mean be delusionally negative and think of the worst case. Use your delusion for positivity. Use your divine nature. Use your power for good, right? With great power comes great responsibility. Okay, use your power to direct it to where you want it to go. Okay? All right, so you are not here to change the world. You are here to change channels. Think of every single personality that you embody as a different channel on the radio station or on the TV, whatever you want to think about. All right. So this reality that you're in this present moment, there's a reality that stretches from your past to your future. If you think about your past and your future, they're just thoughts. The past are just thoughts. The future is just thoughts. They just live up here somewhere in your mind. Two people can sit in the exact same reality, in the exact same moment, and experience reality completely different. Two different versions of truth. You have an argument with your significant other. You both remember it completely differently. How? How is that the case? Right? Because y'all are tuned into different frequencies. Y'all are tuned into different channels. Their truth is their truth. Your truth is your truth. So everything in this script, in this version of reality that you're embodying, it's done. That script is already written. Okay, so there's no point in looking out there and trying to change somebody, forcing them to change. Hey, do this, do that. No point. That script is already written. They are who they are based on your beliefs. But you can change the channel. And how you change the channel is by going within and giving it to yourself, tuning into a new channel. Nah, I don't care what this looks like. You're going to apologize to me because you know better than this. And you give that to yourself internally, and you do not revert from that story. A day passes and they don't apologize. When you think of them, you say your story again. And you change that channel. And then they come back and they apologize, and you're like, oh my gosh. And they have a great excuse for it. You have to change the channel. You don't ever go out there and change something. You go within, you change the channel, and you immediately jump to a reality where that version of them exists, that version of the thing, that version of the event exists. But you have to be conscious enough to walk through your reality and know that everything is working out for me and everything's in alignment for me. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it's all working out for your boy. So you're not here to change the world, you're here to change channels, to become the one who already lives the life that you seek, to attune your identity to the frequency of the reality that already exists. Reality is not a solid wall to break down. It's a spectrum, okay? It's different frequencies, it's different radio stations, okay? It is a kaleidoscope, a quantum field of possibility. All right, so Gospel of Thomas. The kingdom is spread out upon the earth, but men do not see it. We only see 0.001% of reality. The rest of it is information, okay? It's energy, okay? That is where the divine within you operates. It operates in that part that you do not see. Okay, you don't need to manipulate the mirror. You only need to become the reflection you wish to see. If you don't like the shirt you're wearing, it makes no sense to walk to the mirror and tell the mirror to change. This is what you're doing when you're trying to tell people to change. When you're trying to tell situations, force situations in physical reality to change. It is the same as you walking up to the mirror, seeing a booger in your nose, and saying, telling your reflection to take it out. Bro, change. Come on, man. You have to be the one that gets a napkin, wipes your shit, and then looks back in the mirror and allows it to reflect back at you. Okay? So we have to be very, very mindful. You're not changing anything because the script that you're in is completely done. The channel that you're in, that movie that you have created right now with who you are being, it's done. But you can always switch movies. And how do you do that? You confront everything that you see. You acknowledge this is just one of infinite possibilities. It has to be leading me to where I want to be. So I acknowledge it. So, okay, I see it, but it must be unfolding perfectly because I am perfect, because the God within me is perfect. And I immediately flip channels. I change the channel. All right, so you don't need to manipulate the mirror. You only need to become the reflection you wish to see. So number 2, the frequency of identity. All right, so like a radio station, reality is broadcast in infinite channels. You don't create the music, you tune into it. Each identity, each way of being vibrates at its own frequency. Your beliefs are the dial, your self-concept is the tuner. If you want wealth, step into the identity of the one who carries no poverty in their soul. If you want wealth, you have to be willing to walk through life and say, I got this bill because money is coming. My money is always increasing. Every day, every minute, doesn't matter what it looks like. It's always increasing. There is $1 million in the bank account. The bank app must be down right now, but it is coming. You have to walk through life with that delusion, because what is the opposite? To be realistic and only focus on what you have and focus on the worst case scenario and then create more of that scenario. You're always creating, okay? You're always creating. Every situation that you see is you pushed out. It's a reflection of you. It is you. Everything that you experience, every person that you interact with is you, pushed out. It is a reflection of you. The kingdom is within you. Everything is you. whatever you declare anything to be, just like scripture says, whatever you ask in the Father's name is I am. If I say that I am something, consciously or unconsciously, because we think when we hear whatever you ask in the Father's name, we think that means, oh, whatever I pray to and I say in the Father's name, amen. That's not what this means. Everything that you say, the Father's name is I am. Whatever you say after I am, consciously or unconsciously, okay? Whether I'm saying I am divine, everything is working out for me, I am prosperity, or if I'm saying, damn, I can't stand this person, they always take away stuff from me. Both are true. In one case, I'm saying I'm prosperity. The other case, I'm saying I'm a fucking victim. I am declaring that. So now I am choosing, I have inserted what I want the that, and I am that I am to be. And in reality has to give me what I asked for. It has to give me, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. It has to give me. This is divine, this is universal law, man. So whatever I say somebody else is, because they're a reflection of me, I'm declaring myself to be. This is why scripture says, forgive others so your Father in heaven can forgive you. Not because your Father in heaven wants to punish you and wants to treat you bad and wants you to experience the wrath of the Most High. It is because if you are saying that someone else is not divine, you are calling yourself not divine. And now you have to experience more of that version of the person that you don't want. So you're punishing yourself. If you do not forgive others, your Father in heaven can't forgive you. You cannot say that this person is a cheater and a liar and have them change. Your Father in heaven cannot forgive you. Meaning if you say that they are something, they have to be that. It makes no sense for me to see them as a cheater and hope that they will change. To see them as someone that constantly leaves, constantly ghosts, constantly abused, and see them changed. Your Father in heaven cannot forgive you. Your Father in heaven means your I am awareness. This is what it means, right? We have to break down these things in different ways. Forgiving and not forgetting makes absolutely no sense when it comes to universal law. I forgive you, but I still see you as a cheater. Well, guess what? Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. You are declaring that's what they are. So they have to continuously show up that way, y'all. Forgive them so your Father in heaven can forgive you. See everyone as how you want them to be. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. See them doing the things to you that you want them to do. That sounded kind of wrong, but see others the way that you ideally want to see them. Okay? So if you want love, embody the one who is already whole and not seeking a savior. Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The kingdom is within you. Everybody is you pushed out. The kingdom of God. What is the kingdom of God? It's every damn thing. Everything is you. What you declare everything to be is what you are declaring yourself to be. I hope this is clicking. I hope this is triggering. I hope this is helping. All right? The world is not reacting to your wishes. It is responding to your identity. All right. So here's another gem. We're about to take a little left turn because this was just an interesting quote. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought. All right, so this quote, do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise, seek what they sought. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to this at the end because it's kind of gonna take me on a side note. All right, so number 3 is let me make sure, I'll remember it. So number 3 is the great misunderstanding, the law of attraction versus the law of assumption. Okay, so the law of attraction teaches that you must pull things in, all right, as if you are separate from them. This is why even in the teachings of Jesus, he says, the quote that I always talk about, I think I've talked about this in every single lecture, like the last 20, 30. If you think that the kingdom of heaven is in the sky, then the birds will be closer to you, but the kingdom is within you. Whenever we have an assumption, if I say, what is God, and you think of something outside of you, all right? Or if we think of Jesus and we think of something outside of us, what this naturally does is it causes us to think that somebody else can be closer. If God is in the sky, if God is some being out there, then if somebody meditates more than me, they'll be closer. If they know Bible more than me, if they, read more than me, if they're in church and tithe more than me, we will always think that someone else can be closer to God, but the kingdom is within you, so nobody can be closer than you. These are what certain parables of Jesus talked about, right? When you think of the older brother throughout scripture, it typically represents the ego. So, I apologize if you heard this already, but I'm going to say it again. The story of the prodigal son. I did a whole lecture on the prodigal son because it's a masterclass on how to understand that God is within you and what happens when you actually turn to that God within you. The prodigal son walked out of his father's life. The father represents your I am awareness, your knowing that you are God. So the prodigal son walked out of his father's life, and he got so down bad that he ended up in a place feeding pigs. If you understand spirituality, you'll understand that pigs represent the lowest of the low. There's certain practices, certain belief systems where we believe, or they believe, that souls of the deceased, of people that do wrong, are reincarnated into pigs. So pigs are just unclean to eat, and they eat anything, right? And so at one point in the story of the prodigal son, he's looking at the pigs because now his job is to take care of pigs, to feed them. And he says, man, I would just eat the scraps that they are eating. So psychologically, metaphorically, this actually represents that he was at a low point, the lowest of the low. When you are envious of the life of a pig, this is the lowest of the low. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to my father, representing his father in heaven. And he was like, look, I know that I'm his son. I don't even have to be his son. I'll be his servant, because his servants have enough bread and food that they can eat and they can have leftovers, but I have nothing. And so he immediately turns back to his father. He says, I'm going to go back home. And the scripture says, when he was still far off, when he was still far away, his father saw him. And we think of this physically, meaning when I'm walking and I'm far away in distance. But what this represents metaphorically is the moment that you turn to that God within it, you say, no, I am God. Whatever I decree, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. This is the moment that God takes you back. So his father saw him while he was far off, because some of us think, I've been doing this. Am I worthy? I'm still far off. This other person has been praying more. They must be closer to God than I am. I'm still far off. But this scripture is telling you, no, the moment that you turn to that God within you and you acknowledge it, in this moment, you have everything. So the father gave him 3 specific things. Number 1, he gave him a ring. What did the ring represent? The ring represents his authority. He turned away from the God within him. He didn't recognize his own divinity, so he didn't really have the authority. What does this really represent? This represents going out and trying to change external circumstances, when those external circumstances are God. You don't change them, you just choose how you want to experience life differently. You change the that in the I am that I am. You change your identity, and now you experience a different reality within the I am that I am. Because the I am is the Alpha, the I am is the Omega. I am that I am. I am the Alpha, I am the Omega, that I am. Whatever you declare me to be, because God is within you, whatever you declare yourself to be, you will experience that reality. Whatever you declare other people to be, you will experience that reality. Okay? So, number 1, he gave him his ring, so he got his authority back. Now you can decree a thing and it shall be. Number 2, he gave him a robe. This represents his identity. You are now a child of the divine. And then number 3, he gave him shoes, which represent his path being made perfect again, right? All this represents is, it represents where our power is. Your power is not in going out and trying to change people, going out and trying to change, situations with brute force. Your power is in stepping into your divinity and choosing a new version of you. The prosperous version of me doesn't identify with broke shit. So if I see broke shit, I just think, oh no, this must just be leading me to what I want, but I don't accept it. I just deny it. Oh, God's giving me this bill because he wants to show me how much money I'm about to receive. And I go on about my business. I do not identify with broke shit. because the prosperous version of me can. The prosperous version of you does not identify with that shit. Okay? This is what this represents. Now, what if the older brother did? The older brother went to the father and said, hold up, I've been with you the whole time, and you didn't give me any of this. And the father replied and said, of course. Of course. You've been with me the whole time, and everything that I have is yours. Everything that I have is yours. But your spiritual ego gets in the way. It doesn't matter if you've been with the Most High the whole time for 5 years, or if you're just there right now. All that matters is right now. This is why Scripture says, whatever you ask in the Father's name shall be given to you. Until now, you have asked for nothing. And so we think until now you've asked for nothing means, oh no, I've been asking for 3 years, 4 years. No, it means it doesn't matter what you've been asking for. It doesn't matter what you've been doing in the past. This is some human illusion, illusory thought that makes us feel like we are holier than thou. Makes us feel like we're better than that person is better than us. It only matters what you are now. How are you identifying right now? This is all that matters. Are you identifying as someone that is always working out? Or are you saying, man, I've been doing this for so long, but I don't see anything changing. Guess what? Right now you are making the story. You're creating the story that nothing's changing, so nothing can change. We have to be very conscious of who we're being right now. No one's more powerful than you. No one's closer to God than you. I don't care how much. I don't care if they meditate from sundown to sunrise. Do not care if they're fasting every day. Do not care if they're raw vegan. Don't care if they're in church every Sunday. Don't care if they can recite scripture off the top of their head. No one is closer to God than you the moment that you declare that God is within. No one. No one. And you don't need anyone to experience God. You don't need a pastor, a priest, a teacher, a YouTube speaker, me. You don't need anybody. Okay? It is all for you. All right, so next. All right, so the law of assumption whispers a deeper truth. You become it and it becomes you. When you become who you want to be, the world conforms immediately. The moment that you decide you are prosperous, you immediately switch the channel to a prosperous timeline. And now you can reject anything that doesn't look like it, and it has to fade away because you don't resonate with it. You're not on the same frequency as that shit. You have to become a better you. Take the stand against reality. Take the stand against anything that you don't like. That is the test. Who are you being from moment to moment? Okay? So next. Desire is not a signal to chase. It is a reminder of who you are meant to embody. The moment that you desire that car doesn't mean go chase it. It means tell yourself that you already have it. And tell that story over and over again until you do have it. Because you are to desire, to have, to want. It's all the same. The only difference between to have, to want, to expect, the only difference, okay, that puts you on the path and doesn't is, do you want it because you are lacking? Do you want it because you're missing something? Do you want love because you don't feel loved without love? Or do you expect it because you're holding the divine to the promise the divine put in your mind? This is the only difference. To walk around wanting something because you need it to make you feel better, or walk around expecting it because you already know that because God is within you, God doesn't tease you with things. Okay, as within, so without. If I have it within me, I have it without. The path to get there is already illuminated. I just have to walk with the knowing that it's coming. Okay? All that you behold, though it appears without, it is within and in your imagination. Action without identity is effort wasted. Even when we think of the physical world, let me give you an example. We'll have certain people that become very, very successful in business, and they will talk about the discipline they had to work through, or they had to embody to get those things. What is one of the real purposes of discipline from a spiritual perspective is that when you do something for so long, you can think of discipline as an affirmation, basically. Even though reality isn't changing, You have done something so many times that now you embody the person that you want to be, and all of a sudden reality has to conform. But your discipline does not have to last for 2 years, 10 years. You can immediately embody that person right now. But this is even why they'll say, okay, well, hard work pays off. Because if you work for long enough, if you're just trying to use action to get things, eventually you embody the person that has the thing that you want, and reality has to conform. All we're trying to do is we're trying to switch around that process. Just switch around that process. Use spiritual law. Use the God within you. Embody what you want, and then work. And then allow all those things to be added to you, right? Seek first the kingdom, and then all those things will be added to you. Not all the things will be added to you and then seek the kingdom. All right, not work all through physical reality for those things to be added to you, but seek first the kingdom. Give that to yourself within, and then allow all those things to be added to you, okay? So trying to act wealthy while seeing yourself as poor is spiritual friction, and that pretending to be loved while carrying abandonment is emotional sabotage. So become before you become. That is the key, right? We have to become who we want to become before we can actually receive those things. All right, so number 4 is the sacred role of being. I should have got some water, man. We gotta go back to the store, bro. I'm out of that good old sparkling water today. All right. There is no need to hustle for what God already authored. There is only the need to return and to remember. Okay, I didn't even see this. My brother, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, truly. All right, there is no need to hustle for what God already authored. There is only the need to return and to remember. All right, so if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. Gospel of Thomas, this is one of Jesus' teachings. If you bring forth what is within you, if you bring forth that God within you, if you bring forth the desires within you, and you actually start looking at those desires as promises, and you walk and you embody the version of you that expects those things will be added to you. But when we suppress what we want, it will destroy you. The second part of this is if you don't bring forth what is within you, it will destroy you. If you don't bring forth that God within you, if you just walk through reality and you think that this reality is real and you react to everything, you're reacting to the mirror, it only leads to frustration. It's spiritual suicide to walk through life reacting to everything that you don't want, because you're just creating more of it. You have to have conviction. You have to be who you want to be. You have to be strong enough, skillful enough, bold enough, powerful enough, divine enough, all the things that you already are. You have to be these things to look the mirror in its face and not react to it. To only embody who you want to be, right? No matter what life shows to you, you have to have the spiritual backbone, the balls to say, no, I deny this. I choose a different reality, and I walk as this version of me that already has it. I am prosperity. I can't resonate with broke shit. I can't, okay, I got this bill. It's just showing me that more money is coming. That's it. And I'm expecting it because I'm embodying prosperity. Okay? Manifestation is not force. It is permission. Permission to become the highest, most aligned version of your eternal self. All right, so and the day came when the risk to remain tight in the bud was more powerful than the risk it took to blossom. There's going to be a moment in your life. This is the quote unquote rock bottom moment that most people talk about, where they have no choice to surrender. When the pain of staying the same is tougher than the pain of changing. When are you going to get to that point? Are you going to choose to embody that point right now? The pain of staying the same is more difficult than the pain of changing. All right? You know that by staying the same, you will stay in the same loop. And this is how most people's lives are. How do most people live their life? They wake up, they eat the same things, or the same types of things. They go to work at the same time. They argue about the same things. They're triggered about the same things. They go to the same types of places on the weekend. Memorial Day, they have the same type of events. They have the same type of alcohol. They wake up with the same type of hangover. They go to the same type of church. They have the same type of discussions all the time. And they pray and hope that their life will change. But nowhere does it ever say, if you beg harder, life will change for you. Nowhere does it say that. All right? It says, blessed is he who sees or who believes before he sees. So this is what we have to embody, right? You don't have to get to this rock bottom point. You can make a decision right now. You don't have to wait till you meditate tonight. You can literally declare right now that you are prosperity and reject anything that doesn't align to that. You can right now embody that everything is working out divinely for me, no matter what it looks like. Let that be your affirmation for the next week. Whatever you see, everything is working out beautifully, more beautifully than I can imagine. It doesn't matter what the hell it looks like. I don't care what it looks like. The God within me is perfect, so it must be perfect. And you declare that in every situation. You take a deep breath if it does not look ideal, and you say, I don't care what it looks like. Everything's working out beautifully and divinely. It doesn't matter. And watch how your life starts to change. Who are you being? Who are you being? You can sit down and affirm. You can sit down and visualize. But if the world happens, who are you being? This is the story of Job. When Satan said anybody can praise when things are going well, who are they going to be when shit is not working out? This is a master class. When shit is not working out, who are you being? Are you saying everything is going to work out? It is working out. I might not see it, but it is working out. Now reality has to change to give you double. Just like Job got double. All right, well, he was losing all these things and still kept his conviction, his faith, even though everything told him not to. Okay? So when the self shifts, the world reshapes. When you align with a new version of you, the world no longer recognizes the old struggle. This is with people, with events, whatever. No one has free will in your reality. They have free will in their own reality. But you only pull in the people in your reality that have the free will that want to match you. If you believe that all these men want to marry you, you're going to pick. The men that are going to show up in your life are going to be the one whose free will has decided that they cannot be without you. Vice versa, gentlemen. Who are you being? What's the story of your life? The story that you're telling about yourself, whether you are a person who nothing bad can ever happen to me. Everything always just works out better than I can expect. If that is your dominant story, your life is going to be fucking amazing. But if your dominant story is, well, all these women ain't shit, all these men ain't shit. Well, guess what kind of story? Guess what kind of life you're going to have? Guess what you're going to be reflected? Everybody is looking at you, waiting to see who you're going to be. All right? So number 5, reality already exists. The reality that you want already exists. You're not changing shit. You're just changing yourself, and you're flipping the channel to a new timeline. And on that timeline, it might look pretty similar, but all of a sudden the end is completely changed. You already know how this movie ends. If everything works out for you, it doesn't matter what situation you're looking at, you already know how the movie ends. It doesn't matter if the biggest bill pops in your life. If everything works out for you, you know you're going to get the money to pay that shit on time. Whatever on time means. Not from our human perspective, but you're going to be able to pay it before it hurts you. Because everything always works out for you. The car that you want, you're going to get it because everything always works out for you. Somehow, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it just does. Now you are in that reality. And things have to unfold to match your belief. So do you continue to tell that story no matter what it looks like? Or are you weak? Sometimes we just have to really have to be bold and look ourselves in the mirror and say, what the hell do you want? You say that you want to change your life, but these situations come and you react the same way that you always react. Do you really want to change? Do you really want shit to be different? You say you want this person. You say you want this spouse, you want this woman to act right, but every time she does this thing, you react the same damn way. Do you really want it to change? You say you want this money, but you continue to tell the same story of lack and suffering. Do you really want it to change? Don't wait to get to that rock bottom moment. Take a stand against your reality right now. All right? The version of you who has the relationship, the peace, the abundance, the purpose, guess what? They already exist. Not in a fantasy, but in a very real, available channel. That person already exists. You can tune into that version right now. All that it requires is you changing the story that you tell about yourself. This is consciousness, bro. Right? Consciousness isn't just getting a bunch of information and all of a sudden you have to go back unconscious and you have the information so your life automatically changes. Being conscious means you don't go to sleep at the wheel anymore. Because you know this drive so well, you do not shut off your brain in the middle of the drive and then get to the end and say, oh shit, I don't know how I got here. You don't do that shit anymore. You stay conscious. You're always aware of your story. Doesn't matter what shows up, you're aware of your story. This is your power. Step into it. Step into it. You know what I'm saying? The world is waiting for you to change. All the things that you want are waiting for you. Who are you going to be? Okay? So, quantum theory says all realities exist simultaneously. They do. Every single reality exists simultaneously. You're not changing anything. You're just tuning into the frequency. You're tuning into the reality where that person's free will aligns with what you want. You're tuning into the reality where that hiring manager, their free will is aligned to what you want. It doesn't matter if you want a seat. All of a sudden, you go to buy a seat. There's no more first class tickets. Then you say, no, I'm flying first class. And you show up to the gate and you walk up to them and you say, hey, man, y'all have any first class tickets? They say no. In your mind, you say, okay, I'm flying first class. And then you go sit down and they say, oh, boarding group 1. You say, okay, I'm sitting first class. And then you walk up there and all of a sudden the flight attendant comes up to you and says, hey, we have an available seat. For some reason, they wanted us to change your ticket to first class. You say, reality has to conform. Do you find that this is realistic, or do you believe that this is a far-fetched story? Because I've seen it happen. It's about the story that you're telling. You have to confront reality until reality bends. You do not accept the things that you don't want. It's not about, I'm going to change my story, and if somebody tells me no, then I'm going to conform. No. The world conforms to you, or you conform to the world. Which one is it? Scripture specifically says this. Do not conform to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What do y'all think this means? To conform to the world means I'm telling the story that I want a first-class experience. I'm telling the story that I want to get here. I want this to happen. I want this person to do this. I want this job to hire me, and all of a sudden I get a sign that says no, and I conform. Scripture specifically says do not conform. Transform your mind. Who are you being, y'all? You have to take the stand against reality, no matter what. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Everything is working out perfectly. This is why we say circumstances don't matter, because they don't. You don't know if it's working out or not. You don't know what working out looks like. In your mind, you think, oh, if it's working out, I'm going to go to the front desk and immediately give you first class. Maybe it happens like that, but maybe it doesn't. Either way, it's still unfolding perfectly. You have to maintain your conviction. You are the one who has to control your thoughts, your mind. You have to stay focused on what you want. You have to stay focused on your story. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what I feel like. It doesn't matter if I doubt it. Because I have the conviction that this can happen, whether I doubt it or not, that this will happen, whether I doubt it or not, guess what? It will. Reality is always conforming to you no matter what you feel like. The same way that because you have a belief that this person is going to act crazy, this person is going to react negatively, but you hope that they don't this time, guess what? They're going to act crazy. You already know if I give them this news, they're going to react poorly, but I hope they don't. Please don't. Guess what they do? Because they have to conform to your belief, right? You might have a little doubt. This might be different, but they're going to conform to your belief. The same way that you believe you're going to have this first-class experience, you can have a little doubt, but because of your conviction and your willingness to step against reality, to fight against reality, guess what? It has to conform to you. Do not conform to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right? Let's read this shit like we're supposed to read it. Okay, there's a lot of it, we read this shit and we just, oh, okay, sure, do not conform to the world because the world is evil. How is the world evil? Don't conform to the world. Be renewed by the transforming of your mind. Tell the right story and you change the world. Okay? Tell the story and that changes the world. All right, so to shift timeline, shift selves. To shift selves, shift beliefs. To shift beliefs, speak differently to yourself. If you master your inner speech, you can put down all techniques. You don't need to affirm. You don't need to visualize. Well, consciously. Because everything that you do is an affirmation. That's right. Everything that you do is an affirmation. Who you are being is an affirmation. How you speak to yourself is an affirmation. How you talk to others is an affirmation. It's all an affirmation. We think that, affirmation is just what I repeat in my head. I'm prosperity. I'm prosperity. I have to put it in I am because I am is the present tense. No, first of all, I am is the name of God. And I am just means what you declare yourself to be. That's it. Has nothing to do with this present moment. There's only the present moment. You couldn't speak about anything but the present moment. There is only the present moment. This is all that exists. So you don't need to put things in a present tense format for God to understand. You got to understand God is you. God knows exactly what you mean. You're just doing the affirmation for yourself to keep yourself in the mindset of who you are. So who you are being is an affirmation. So if I say that I'm prosperous, but all of a sudden I'm stressing out and I'm tripping out and I'm trying to go through physical reality to change this money situation, I'm saying two completely different affirmations, y'all. If I say that I'm always chosen, I'm always loved, and this woman, she just can't get enough of me. But then I start tripping out, wondering what she doing. Who is she with? Yada, yada. I'm saying two different affirmations. I'm declaring two different things. I'm a double-minded man. I'm unstable in all of my ways. Okay? Everything is an affirmation. The way you treat your body, an affirmation. Okay? The way that you speak is an affirmation. The way that you treat your pet is an affirmation. The things that you accept in your life, that you accept from men and women in your life, this is an affirmation. It all is telling a story about who you think you are. It's all a story. All right? Prayer does not just happen consciously. Just because you're on your knees with your hands folded, it's not the only time that you're praying. Just because you're on your knees with your hand folded, that's my prayer, and nothing else matters. It only matters when you're talking to God right now. Who you're being right now is your prayer. You're always communicating with God because God is you. You don't have to go to the church to talk to him or get somebody else to pray for you. Nobody else can pray for you. No one else can pray for you. You have free will. You are the one who decides everything that happens to you. No one else can manifest shit for you. Right? So if you ever find yourself trying to pay somebody to manifest for you, just know in your mind that you're giving your money away because you are the operant power in this reality. No one has any power over you unless you give them your power. This is how you actually give people your power when you believe that they're manifesting and praying for you. This is a spiritual ego thing again. When we think that God is outside of us, we think that somebody can be closer to God because he's just some being out there. So obviously I've seen them and they meditate more than me. They know more scripture than me. So surely their prayer must be powerful. And now we say, hey, pray for me. And now because we've put the burden of our life on this other person, all of a sudden we can relax and be like, oh, because they're praying for me, things are different. We're just affirming that. It's still us that's making this happen. So all of a sudden we relax more and we have a little bit more faith because we think this person is praying for us and our life gets a little bit better. And we're like, oh, I want them to pray for me again. You're just outsourcing your power. You're giving your power away. It doesn't matter if they prayed or not. The only thing that happened is you slipped into faith. They could tell you that, oh, I prayed for you. They could say, oh, I'm sending you my prayers and never think about you again. But because you have the faith now that the higher power heard you, all of a sudden your life gets better. It doesn't matter what they did. It's you. It's always you. It is always you. There's nothing out there. There's no people out there. There's no circumstances out there. It's just all you. You are the operant power. Okay? So to speak differently, begin by seeing differently. Who am I? How do I see reality? How does this prosperous version of me see reality? Well, I see everything working out for you, boy. The version of you that thinks everything always works out, how do they see issues? They say, this shit is always working out for me because I am who I am. I am someone who everything works out for, so I don't really care what it looks like. I declare it to be this thing because that's what it is. Whatever it looks like, it has to be working out for me. Okay? So some reflection questions. Number one, what version of myself am I committed to being today, right now? Who are you committed to being right now? Commit to be the version of you that everything works out for. Commit to going through life and saying that to everything. It's always working out for me. Don't care what it looks like. Doesn't matter what anything looks like. It's always working out for me. The God within me is perfect, so the situation must be perfect. Commit to it. Okay, number two, where am I trying to change the mirror instead of becoming the reflection? Maybe it's a person in your life and you're trying to change them. Maybe you're seeing reality as one way. You're saying that men ain't shit. You're saying that women ain't shit, but you're hoping that somebody proves you wrong. Guess what? They will never. They can't. Because you're trying to get the mirror to change when it's you who needs to change. A better mindset would just be, most people are like this, but all I need is one. And one person will be different. Oh my God, that's a night and day to the all women ain't shit mindset. And guess what? This opens up infinite possibilities to prove you differently. You have completely stepped in a new reality. Because no longer are you waiting for the mirror to change. You are changing your belief, your story. And you're allowing the mirror to reflect that back at you. Okay? Number three, am I acting from identity or performing from desire? All right? Am I acting from identity or performing from desire? Am I embodying who I want to be? All right? Am I embodying this person? Or, you know what I'm saying? Am I just performing? Right? Do I see things and all of a sudden I react to them? I want it to be different, so I'm just going to react to it in just whatever way I do and just pray that it's different. Okay? What truths am I willing to assume even before I see proof? Blessed is he who believes before he sees. Okay? And then who do I refuse to become and why? Why are you holding on to the old version of you that you don't want anymore? You can change right now. You should change right now. Everything that you want is on the other side of you changing. Okay? And so, final invocation. All right. Stop asking, how do I get it? And begin asking, who must I be? Catch yourself every time you start questioning reality. I've been doing all the techniques, but nothing's changing. Stop yourself right there. Everything's changing because you've changed. Everything is changing. All these old circumstances are falling away because you have changed. Reality is conforming to you. Okay? You are not manifesting objects. You are manifesting selves. You are switching your version of you. You are turning into a new channel. You've been in this reactionary state of mind. And now all of a sudden you decide, no, everything is working out for me. You immediately switch channels. And now everybody that was in that old reality, they shift to this new channel. And you get the version of them whose free will is in alignment with your self-belief, with your knowing that everything always works out. And so their job is to prove you right. These circumstances, their job is to prove you right. All you're doing is changing the channel. And so when you see something that you don't like, guess what? Just change the channel, turn it off. You don't change the movie script, yo. If you see a movie you don't like, right? You don't go write a new, you can't. The movie is already created. You just watch it. If you don't like it, you just change the channel. You change the movie, okay? So you are manifesting selves, versions of you in states of consciousness. You don't need to change the world. You only need to walk into the version where it's already done, okay? John 10:9, I am the door, by me. If any man enter in, he shall be saved. If you enter into the awareness of who you are, if you enter into a new version of you through your I am awareness, if you start identifying as someone else, this is what this means, okay? I am the door. Your I am awareness is the door, okay? By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved. Whatever circumstance you experience that you do not like in your life, you can be saved by entering into your I am awareness and choosing a new identity that relates to this situation differently. Therefore, you change your reality and you will be saved. Whatever you bring forth, whatever is in you, if you bring it forth, it will save you. Okay? If you bring forth the identity of the person that reacts differently to this situation, it will save you. Okay? You are the door, the dial, and the frequency. Tune in. Okay? And so, as a side note, before we end this, okay, let's talk about this right here. All right, so this quote, this is how I want to end it. I want to talk about this quote. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought. Okay? So this quote carries a profound truth about the difference between imitation and embodiment. It warns against idolizing or mimicking others on the spiritual path without understanding the deeper impulse that moved them. The footsteps of the wise, their rituals, methods, or teachings are not what made them wise. It was their longing for truth, their surrender to mystery, and their relentless pursuit of the divine or the real that awakened their wisdom. When we fixate on form over essence, we become spiritual actors rather than seekers. Right? Seek the truth in your life. I'm going to use this in a very specific way to talk about reality creation. All right. It's one thing to go on to all these posts, these Reddit posts, and try to read what was the affirmation you used. It's another thing to go find what the next greatest, manifesting way is on YouTube or wherever. It's a whole nother thing to begin to seek the truth for yourself, to begin to embody the version of you that you want to be and watch how reality conforms. And do this for as long as possible, as long as needed. Okay? This is going to be the greatest law. There's no power in just these techniques. You are the power behind these techniques. Okay? So the moment that you begin to think, I'm doing the techniques but nothing's changing, I'm doing the affirmations but nothing's changing, my challenge to everyone I work with that says that is stop doing them. And when they stop doing them and they just focus on the story that they're telling, who they're embodying from moment to moment, it's as if miracles happen in their life. Miracles happen just by them being someone else. Don't take 20 minutes a day to make that your affirmation time. You can do that if it's fun for you. But use your entire life. Use who you're being as the affirmation. Become the affirmation. Become the synchronicity. Become the God in your reality. Focus on changing who you are. Don't just focus on repeating a bunch of things because you feel like you need to reprogram this big, mysterious subconscious mind. There is no big, mysterious subconscious mind that's rejecting anything that you're thinking. You're the one rejecting it by thinking that you have this subconscious mind that you have to reprogram. Who you are being, your subconscious mind takes everything. Who you are being right now is the most important thing in your reality, in your life. You are the one that is rejecting the reality that you want by reacting to things and trying to make the excuse that it's your subconscious mind. It's you. The moment that we start becoming accountable and we start really studying, how do I move through life? This is the moment that your life can change. So it's not about techniques. It's not about finding, oh, what is this person doing that I'm not doing? It's about being who you want to be. Understanding that the desires in your heart are sacred to you. And you already know how to be them. The only thing that you have to do is know that you're God and walk around thinking that everything works out for you in alignment with the things that you want. Everything that you see is an opportunity to choose something differently. If you don't like it, it's an opportunity to say, oh, I don't like this. Everything is still working out for me. I'd prefer to have this. So this must be leading me to that. It's the perfect unfolding. You tell the story in every moment in your life. All those situations you don't like just melt away. They just fall out of your life. People start changing based on who you are being. Okay? So true transformation doesn't come from copying someone else's method. It comes from seeking with the same fire, the same hunger, the same sincerity that led the wise to the revelations. Okay? To tap into our own deep questions, to follow the pull of our soul, not the shadows of someone else's journey. The goal is not to become a replica of the master, but to discover the sacred for ourselves as they did. Wisdom isn't inherited. It is reawakened in each generation by those bold enough to seek what lies beyond the surface. All right, y'all, right. So let's go on and end this one right here. I'm going to, matter of fact, anything that y'all want to talk about? Any questions that y'all have? We'll talk about that. If not, then I'll end with, we'll end with affirmations and let y'all go. How many times I've been told no, and then I don't waver, and they come back and be like, oh yeah, we made a mistake. And it's exactly, right? Because everything that we want, everything that we see is just the bare minimum. You would be surprised, like the way, that is what, when we say don't waver, okay? It doesn't mean that you won't have a little bit of doubt. You might have a little bit of doubt. It's not accepting reality. Not accepting reality until it gives you what you want. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Right? No. I'm going to have this first class seat. Oh, it's sold out online. That's fine. Go to the ticket desk. Still sold out. Oh, that's fine. All of a sudden, someone doesn't show up and I get upgraded. All right. I deny the world as many times as needed until it conforms. And then it's usually better, because whatever I can imagine is always going to be the bare minimum. If you imagine the worst case scenario, you're like, oh, it's never as bad as I thought it was going to be. Why? Because the God within you doesn't work in bare bones manifestations. Anything that you desire, anything that you can imagine, you'll get better. So why spend your time worrying about the worst case scenario and it's always going to be better? Just think of the best case scenario you can imagine, and it's always going to be better than that. This is where your power is. This is where your divinity lies. I appreciate you for saying that, man. I'm glad you got something out of this. Thank you. We're all on this journey together. We're all on this journey together. And the bottom line is that you can have whatever you want. Whatever you want. You can have the person you want. You can have the car you want. You can have the place that you want. You can have everything that you want. Everything that you want. But it starts with your attitude, with your ability to just walk up to things and not take any shit. I do not take anything that's the opposite of what I want. Mm-hmm. Reality has to conform to me, or I have to conform to reality. I'm going to choose reality conforming to me every single time. All right, y'all, but I'm going to end it right here. I was going to take more questions, but I just got extremely tired. So, hope y'all had a divine day, and I hope y'all stay safe. And if y'all doing anything else tonight, I hope y'all stay safe, right? But I see you all as divine, as beautiful, as perfect, as in alignment with everything that you want. Okay, you can have it all, everything, right? That's why you're here, because you want it all. Right, don't take half-assed versions of things. Don't accept the great value of the team move version of anything, right? Get what you want. And you can get this by having that spiritual backbone And by not conforming to the world, but by being transformed by the renewing of your own mind. God is within you. Okay? God is everything, all there is. Every reality is always already created, and God is operating in all of them. And it is your declaration about who you are, about who all these things are outside of you, that is allowing reality to conform. All right? So allow it to conform. Use your powers for good. Okay? Treat others as you want to be treated. See them the way that you want them to treat you, and watch how reality bends to your will. Huh? All right, and if any of y'all have a wedding anytime soon, invite your boy. I already got one wedding invite. All right, since I said that, and that was only a couple weeks ago. But if y'all have any, questions, you want any coaching, there's a Calendly link in the bio, so you can always check that out. I have different packages. And then also, this document, of course, will always be on YouTube. You can download it. You can do whatever you want. If you have any other topics you want me to discuss, send me a DM, send me an email, and I'll get to it. All right, but y'all have a beautiful, blessed, divine night. Right, y'all stay prosperous and beautiful, right? Yeah, the rain outside is pretty nice right now. I think that's what's making me tired. I just can't wait to, you know what I'm saying, chill. All right, but y'all have a good one, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.